I don't know about this location where I'm sitting this morning. You could kind of see the stove and my jacket. I should have swapped that gray jacket for something a different color. It's okay. Here we are. Welcome, welcome. Oh, let me get this set right. So it's on all messages. And that lots of people can come in. But let's make them have to work to come in just a little bit. There we go. That's a little easier for everybody. So good morning. Who's with me this morning? Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Ah, poop head. All right. I'm back. I screwed up. All right. I didn't screw up too bad, but I screwed up a little bit. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Sonia. I'm so glad you're here. And Miss Beth, hi. And Mary, oh, how's your trip going, Mary? I guess I don't have to yell at y'all. I was thinking, oh no, yeah, I don't want to do that. You don't need to see every freckle. I have too many freckles. Good morning, Catherine. So, good morning. Let's see. I have things to tell you. I have things to share. Woohoo! Tammy, hi. Is George here too? Tiny? And looky. Here's Miss Wendy. Miss Wendy came in to sit with us. Yeah. Mwah. She Mama Big Goo. She is. Mama got Wendy a new used pillowcase from the thrift store that's all pretty, and it's cotton and fluffy, and Mummy sacrificed a couple of her old pillows that she was going to get rid of. So Wendy has a new on the bed. Oh, okay, internet sucks where you are. Okay, so I can wiggle the phone. Let me double check the battery. I have not. Yeah, we're on 95%, so we're okay. I think I can wiggle the phone. See Wendy's new bed over there? It's basically a thrift store pillowcase, a couple of old camp pillows I was going to get rid of, and now she has a nice, soft, squishy, easy to wash bed that we're able to maneuver. And I don't know about buffering and stuff like that. I buffered when I first came in because I made a mistake. So, Wendy, I'm going to take my slippers off. Can I put them right there? Thank you. Wendy got down. So that early buffering was my own fault. Quite a few people here today. I think I got all the settings set correctly. I don't know the answer. I'm doing pretty good today. Yesterday, Cynthia and Jared, who should be here at some point, they might be in the background, they're driving back to Texas. They came and we kind of did a little memorial thing for Skipperdoodle and went through the box of his personal belongings, and they took things for their trip home. And we had such a lovely visit. And afterwards, I don't know what I was, just tired. I don't even know. There was no particular emotion or thing or whatever. But I just put a movie on and kind of just hung out all afternoon. Oh, good that it's not buffering anymore. Anyways. So, yeah. Anything that you would like me to talk about today particularly, or if you have a question for me. I've lived off grid most of my adult life. Sure, there were a few years like when I lived in Richmond, Virginia, or Times Square, New York, and some of those things where I lived in apartments or houses. But most of my adult life, I've spent off grid in one kind of way or another. And yeah, today I know there's a lot of straps on my shoulders as I'm seeing me in the phone view thing. I have on my bohemian super loose. I bought them too big anyways, but Beth, numb might have been a good term for it. Overalls. I need to change these metal things for something fabric or like a little tie or elastic or something. The metal breaks me out. So, but anyway, and so I'm sorry. I'm sorry if it looks cluttered around here, but it's the way it is today. And I have a number of projects I could be doing today, but I'm just not ready. I mean, I keep working at things. Y'all know me. I keep telling everybody, use your turtle steps. Do what? That's crooked too, isn't it? I must have twisted it. I was talking to Wendy when I was braiding my hair. That part of the braid's weird. Anyway, boy, am I out there, right? I'll tell you everything, more or less. So, Wendy in her little bed over there. Whoops, let's turn it that way. She's got bones, pig ear chewies, and her toys. And I think she's really happy to have a soft bed again. So yeah, if you want me to talk about anything particular, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease a couple of years ago, and the one that they diagnosed me with is MS because I technically have lesions on my brain, something in my spinal fluid. Anyway, I love to drive on dirt roads, and that's how I got into being an overlander. So I'm an overlander. I used to be what we used to call it van dwelling. And before van dwelling, so I've lived in vehicles, lots and lots and lots. And I also am one of the OG RTR people. I was at all the first few. The year they filmed the movie, I was paralyzed and stuck here on this property in an old trailer that was struggling to keep warm. That was a rough year. So that's why you didn't see me in the Nomadland movie. And maybe it was God's will that my head didn't get too big or something. I might have been too proud back then. I don't know the answer, but let's just let that go. But anyway, and so let's see. I started living in vans, and in 1978, and in 1980. I was a campground host in Virginia. So I've done that work camping stuff. And I have traveled internationally. I did a lot of that by house sitting and working on wolf farms. And there's lots of ways to travel cheap to free. And then I hiked on the Appalachian Trail, whatever came up. It was like, hey, let's go try that. I'm capable. So, so let's see. And in 2016, I bought 10 acres of land from a friend I had met at the pre-RTRs and RTRs. And he still is technically, he owns the neighboring property. And I had been up here camping on his property for quite some time before I purchased the land from him. So I've been up here in this Apache County off-grid general area going on 13 years, something like that. I could be off a little, don't hold me to dates, and anything with numbers, don't hold me. I just get like weird. I can go totally blank when numbers are involved. It's one of my things. Anyway, so let's see. Oh, guys, I did make my bed this morning. I think my little sofa bed is so cute. And so today I made it that way. There's that rug. That rug I also bought at a thrift store. That's been a few months ago. And that I bought for her too. But we use it as the rug, you know, for when you get up and it's cold. I don't like putting my bed on the floor when it's too cold. And then, so you see some of my decorative skills here are starting to show up. I'm still working out how I use that little bench, which is kind of marketed for you to put your shoes on near a door. It's a great little bench. It says it holds about 400. Hi, Homestead Nomads and Leanna. It says that little shoe bench thing, entry bench thing, can hold about 400 pounds. It was really inexpensive. I think I paid $35 for it. Thank you so much, Beth. The bed folds out. It's a sofa bed. So the arms fold flat. These, you can't see my finger. Those arms right there, you lift it up and it falls flat on both sides. And that makes like a twin bed. It was made for a patio, so the weather and changes in temperature shouldn't bother it much. And I love that the fabric's easier to wash off from, you know, I have a dog, and dog hair, it's easier to get it off. It's very comfortable as my bed. It's not as wide as the old wooden bed frame was, but it gives me my floor back. And I like elbow room. I like neat, clean spaces. I had decided when I came here that I wanted all my structures for things to be metal and sturdy. And so rather than wood furniture that over time the extreme changes in temperature will loosen screws or glue will come apart, I just didn't want to deal with that. And using the black metal matches the wood stove for one. It can always be refinished for years and years and years. So unless it rusts out or something, and there's no reason for that. But this way, I also, if I need to use it somewhere else, I could even carry it outdoors as long as I clean it off. So that's why I choose some of the things I chose. And so that sofa bed is actually made for patios and poolside. And I did put it out in my Amazon store so you can find it. I have not spent time organizing my Amazon store. The little bench I showed you has a vinyl seat part. It's taller. Let me try to turn this around again. It's taller than the sofa bed seat. But the two shelves underneath are really going to be useful. I started off thinking I'd stick my shoes up there, but as small as this space is, I just kick my shoes off on the floor, and so they're kind of under it. That works better for me in an everyday sense. I did agree with the people in the comments on that Amazon product that when you first put it together, it's a little wiggly to sit on until all the bolts and screws kind of settle into their space, and then you have to retighten it. Unfortunately, now I have not made the comments on Amazon yet. Come. No, I am not giving you treats. Come up. See everybody, and don't bark, please. Mommy's on the phone. Look up there. Mommy's on the phone with everybody. So, one problem when that bench arrived was two of the bolts that put it together. The stem part, that's the screw itself, the bolt part of it, were the wrong size. So I had to do some fancy maneuvering, but I got it put together. But I need to put that out on the comments that lovely, but somebody screwed up with putting a wrong size thing in there. But it's fine. I got it working. And I love it. It works. I can sit on it. I can wiggle it. I had to sit on it a few times and wait, and then screw tighten the bolts. And and I just decided, since Cynthia and Jared were here, that all these books, I want them more available closer to the sofa bed. And some of these books are reference books for natural health. I also have some Audubon bird books and stuff like that. So birds and plants books and stuff like that. So I think that top shelf is going to be more reference books. I have one knitting book that Babs gave me years ago. But I think that's what's going to go there. And then right now, that bottom shelf has a spare blanket and a basket bin, but the basket bin doesn't fit there well. So the basket will be moving, but I think it may hold blankets or something. Right now, when I make my bed, I'm stuffing everything into a big duffel bag that I have for travel. There's a fly in here. Every once in a while, I get a couple of flies. And so that duffel bag is just in the corner right now, but it's got all the sleeping bags and stuff from where I was, my bedding is in that for now. I should be getting now as a gift. The sofa bed was a gift. And it was a gift from, basically, there's a fund that my therapist and that office has for clients. And a couple of years I've missed using the fund. But this year I asked them if they could help me get that sofa bed so that I could have a more comfortable space. I also asked for a couple of blankets, and one of them being wool. Yes, you can go outside. Hang on 1 minute. And let Mama finish saying this. And then I haven't got the blankets yet. I should be able to pick those up this coming week. All right, come on, Miss Wendy. Come on, I'll put you out. You want to go out? And the gate's open. You can get outside the gate. Okay. And so that's what's going on there. And another thing, and this is not all the guess what stuff yet. I'm holding that. 33 people. Wow. Hey guys, I do have super thanks and super chats and all of that kind of stuff. You don't have to. Most of the people who follow me don't have a lot of money, so you don't have to give me money. I appreciate it when you use my Amazon store the day that you're going to buy something, because then with no cost to you, I get a little kickback. And from Amazon, I'll get a $10 check maybe twice a year. I don't push it hard because I'm still waiting for the day when I'm no longer on disability from Social Security, but I become retired. And at that stage, disability opens up the door for me to, then I can earn money differently. Right now, I am always being watched, and I try to be careful to not make much money. And so I never started this as a business. I really love helping people. It's part of who I am inside somewhere. And I hate that I get depressed sometimes, but I know kind of, with years experience, kind of know how that happens for me. And definitely by the time hard weather comes or a big storm and it's challenging and harder for me, it's easier for me to go, but how am I going to get through this and get through this all alone without any help? How do I do that? And so that sometimes starts on some, because I've had some hard times. I mean, seriously. So anyways, I see Jeremy and Iris have come in. Hi, both of you. Mr. Jeremy, how's the hand? Can you give folks an update on that? Jeremy didn't mean to, but stuck his hands in and when he was breaking up a dog fight and got bit kind of seriously. So let's see. Another thing I did, and I'm going to show you this, but it's messy because I had my coffee and made breakfast, but I haven't finished cleaning up. I made my bed. So don't judge me. Don't judge me, please. But this happened. Okay. Yes. That's my new to me antique wood cook stove. It was on the front porch. I knew the weather was getting to it and it was really bothering it. It was really like messing it up. And I've got to, you know, kind of repair it. There's a pretty bad crack that goes right here. And it's enamel over cast iron. And I know what product to buy to repair the crack, but I haven't been able to do that yet. So, well, you know, it's not quite the project, but the week, was it 2 weeks ago, I think, that I had snow and rain. I opened it to check on it and the oven was full of water, which would have really, really messed it up. So I dried it out, and the other day, this thing weighs about 350 pounds, guys. Okay? And so the other day, somebody came, oh, good Lord, I have to just say, I was so grateful that one of my neighbors needed me, and I was able to help them. That just helps me so freaking much. So they were returning a tool to me and came here. And it's a man and he's strong. And I asked if he thought that he and I together could move that wood cook stove inside so that I can protect it from the weather until I can do whatever comes next. And, oh, okay. What happened? Oh, poop head. Okay, I just broke that chair. Well, you know, the chair's been well used for over a year. Yep. Okay, guys. Plastic on chairs does not last forever. It just broke. This was $100 lawn chair, but this is the one I bought after I got back from Baja, but I've been using it almost every single day, and it broke right at the screw spot. Okay, so much for that. Okay, bummer. All right. Oh, now you get to see my crazy comfortable overalls, right? All right, let me change this to something. How are we gonna, I can stand up for you guys. Poop head, the chair's gone. All right. Well, I don't know that I like that. Hey, it's real life, people. Shit happens. Crap happens. Sorry, I try not to use bad words. Let's see. You know what? Instead of doing this, let me, I'm going to adjust some things. This is going to be wiggly for a minute. All right. What if I do this way? That tripod's too big for the top of the refrigerator. I was going to put the tripod on the refrigerator. That's not going to work. Okay, well, I'm a little nervous about sitting in a different spot because of the signal. You all know about my signal. So, okay. So, oh, did you marry? They're so comfortable. I actually have more of this kind of overall things in my wish no, in my own wish list, right? It may, you may be able to see it, but I don't have it set up so you can order from it. I only have my Amazon public wish list that you can actually order from. Um, but anyways, yeah, I have a couple, and one of them is linen. I just really like that one. It's linen, and instead of being the scoop neck like this one, it's V-neck. And I really like that one, but I can't remember. It looked like it was like $40 or something. Okay. So now I'm just wiggling all over the place, aren't I? Ocean, I saw the one with the ocean life print. Oh, I love that one. That was pretty. It was very pretty. I can't remember if that one was cotton, but it was very pretty. Speaking of fabrics, I did go to the thrift store. I already told you that because I got the thing for Wendy. I got fabrics. Now, the way I buy fabrics at the thrift store is I buy clothes, and they don't have to be my size. Okay? So let's see if I can do this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Okay? But like, I got this men's Egyptian cotton, 100% Egyptian cotton, men's big white cotton shirt. So there's cotton fabric. That's why I bought it. And it was like under $1. And then I got, this is cotton too, but I tried it on after I got home. Oh, and sometimes I don't buy things that are fabric from thrift stores because one, like this one, the laundry soap they use, I'm so allergic. And the risk of bed bugs is big. I checked these, they need to be washed. This is too short for me to wear. So I'll have to, but it's cute and it fits. And then I got a cotton, button-up shirt, flannel shirt. This one fits too. It's a little whatever. And then look at this shirt I picked up. This one's way cool. I love this one. So this one I'll probably wear a lot because this one's cool. Anyways, that's how I buy fabrics, and they were all cotton or something. Oh, there you go, Beth. So, all right. So what else is going on? I would love to go out back and sit with you guys, but I'm so scared of screwing up the signal if I was to go out back. So now I don't have, somebody did give me a skein of yarn, a jacket out of, or sweater rather out of, because Wendy's coat didn't fit her. I donated the coat to the thrift store. I bought her one end of season last year for $7 because she was never supposed to get bigger, and she's twice the size she was, and it didn't even get close to fitting her. So I donated that. I haven't started knitting yet. I just feel like I've had a lot. I feel like I've had a lot going on, but maybe it's not as much as I think. I don't know. Come on, I'm human, just like all y'all. And crap happens, and sometimes we understand it, sometimes we don't have a clue what's going on, right? And okay, I'm looking at the tripod again. Somehow I have it way short, and I can't get one of the, I see where the section is that's messed up, but I can't unscrew it. In the backyard, I have like 4 or 5 projects going on right now. So A friend is coming by soon, early in the week, to help me cement in my entry gate posts. It'll be the first time I've had them cemented in the ground. So, um, yeah, and I don't wear my overall things out in public, okay? I'm going to try going to the front porch, guys. I hope we don't buffer. I'm doing this. So, no out here. It looks pretty like normal right now. The day's nice. It's about 60. What does that thermometer say? 62, 64, something like that. I've had to winterize the little pond way over there. So the solar fountain. I was afraid of that. Anyways, I really need for this area of the front porch to get a firewood rack that has a waterproof cover. And I have one picked out. I'm not sure if it's in my wish list, but that's what I need for there. And of course, I like my rocking chairs on the front porch, but whatever. So here I am. Yep. So here. Okay. Hi, Donna Kay. All right. So we got signal. I don't think I'm buffering now. I was. And I see somebody sent me messages that kind of messes things up too. So, Wendy, you could get out. The gate's open. She's talking to me. Hang on a second. Let me do this. Hang on. Wendy, the gate's open. Come to the gate. The gate's open. You got it. It's open. Oh, it's not open enough. I'm sorry. It's not open enough. Huh? There you go. All right. Okay. Miss Wendy can get in and out the gate. That's what she wanted. So, okay. Birds flying. Okay. Well, that was embarrassing about my chair. I don't know whether I can get parts to repair that chair. I'll have to check with. That's a GSI Pico chair because it folds so nice and small. It's okay. I love that company. I love GSI company. I'll have to check with them and see if I can get a replacement part for that corner. I don't know. $100 for a lawn chair is a lot of money in my world. So we've been at this. Oh, I think because we scrolled a couple of times, the timer restarted. It says we've only been at it 3 minutes. I know that's not true. We've probably been at this a good half hour. Is it time for me to spill the beans yet? Guess what happened? And I don't think there's a way for me to share the pictures. 33 minutes. That's what I thought. So, because I don't think, no, that's a startup poll. And see, there's no way for me to, there must be a way. But on my phone, I don't see a way for me to, what's that one do? No. Okay. For me to show you a picture. There's a way, but I might have to have a computer. I don't know the answer. Anyway, Jeremy, my engines are on the table in the shop. My tracker is at the front of the shop in St. John's. Stan's working on the tracker. Okay, so Stan's a year older than me. His health is not quite as good as all that. First off, he sits an awful lot in a chair that sucks. And I can't force him. I keep trying to. I can't force him to buy a new chair. Oh, good Lord. I want that man to get a better chair. And what I want him to have is a chair that either is chair level or he can expand it tall and have it be countertop level. And I want it to have wheels on it. That's what I want for him. He's starting to have trouble with his knees and he's already had some surgeries on his shoulders. And he can't stand up to work on my engine very long. And that's part of why I want him to have a different chair. I picked one out, but I not confident and I don't know how much money to spend on it, but I can't see a $30 chair being the right one. I'd rather spend a little more and make sure it's not going to fall apart or something. I don't know. But I don't kind of have it like that all the time, but if I could afford to, I'd just get him a chair because he needs something that's ergonomic and comfortable and some air flows through. If I showed you or told you what he's sitting in, it's horrible. It's an old office chair that's too low to the ground. It was padded, and the padding's not in that great a shape. The mechanism in it is, it's all wonky, and he's using a little tiny laptop, and he has to lean forward on the desk, and none of this is good for his posture or anything else. So I keep trying to get this fixed so that he can help me better, right? Not just me, but everybody. So but he's working on it. He's working on it. Yeah, don't no, that chair's horrible. So I keep trying to figure that out anyways, because we need to get Stan a better chair. And it needs to now be one that can also be a stool so he can take it over to the engine table and sit high enough to work on my engine. That would really be helpful for Stan. So I don't know quite how to maneuver getting that. I found, like I said, I found a couple of interesting things on Amazon, but I can't get him to buy it. Little, he's old school like me, so little cheap ass, whatever. But now I still hope it's okay with. I believe I asked Cynthia yesterday. Cynthia gave me the laptop that had been Skipperdoodles. It's big. It's got a huge screen. It's got fantastic sound system in it. I mean, it's big, older, Wi-Fi capable, all of that stuff. Jeremy, don't wreck the surprise, please. But I'm seriously thinking about either trading it partially for some work with Stan, or at least just Stan can't keep doing what he's doing, and this screen will make it different. It's too much power for the power that I have here at the cabin. It uses too much power for that. And my son is a big computer person, still builds computers and laptops and, stuff. And so when I probably will go to visit him, he and I have been talking about what would be more help for me, where I would prefer to be able to only use the phone if I could maneuver it. And so, maybe a projector, maybe glasses, maybe something that would allow me to not need another computer because I don't want to carry it and I want to keep traveling. And so, anyway, so my son said, "Yeah, mom, that computer's a good one. It's just old and it needs power." And I'm like, "Yeah, but what do you think of this idea?" And he agreed with me yesterday. He said, "Yes, take it to the shop for Stan. Stan has power and Wi Fi available, and he needs to be able to see the screen better because he's doing parts research and stuff. And so that's where that's going to go. And Cynthia, if you have any thoughts on that, you let me know. But that's where that's going to go. I think I cleared it with her yesterday. I just, if I didn't, Cynthia, please tell me. But anyways, that's what's going to happen with that. So, because I can't keep it charged or anything. And with him having power at the shop, you just plug it in and it'll be fine. So, um, that's what's going to happen with that. Anyways, yeah, that's true too. Yeah, yeah. And I mean, come on, my son offered already and offered to Stan already to build a computer system for the shop. And so if it comes that that works out, he will. But for right now, but we're going to do this because the screen, Jeremy, it's I thought computers and things, I know that you measure diagonally for the size of the screen, but I thought they were like, 11s or 12s and then 14s and 16 and but this one measures 17. So it's either a 16 or an 18. I don't know what they're calling it, but it's big. So that's going to help Stan a lot. And I know that. So I'll be bringing that down this week. And maybe Jer, if you're not at work yet, because I don't think you are, um, whenever I come down, we could go to lunch or something. I mean, I don't know what's available, but um, we could do something. Um, I'm tired. I'm I keep doing that I'm tired thing. No, I'm not. I'm full of energy. I'm um I'm full of energy. I'm full of life. I'm so much happier. It's funny. Since that neighbor called and needed me and there was something I could actually do to help. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Cynthia. I just wanted to make sure that I couldn't remember if I checked that with you, but because that's what I'm gonna do then, because it will help Stan. And if I help him, he helps me. You know how that I mean, it's not I scratch your back, you scratch mine, but it is. This is how you do things, whatever. This is this is how you be nice and help each other out. And but anyway, my son had already said when I do come to visit, because it's looking like that's going to be able to happen. I just don't know when yet, but that he will spend time with me on his end working out what my actual needs are and how we can work with my minimalist travel lifestyle to give me what I want and need and not something I don't. And like that laptop, one, I was going to have trouble powering it, but two, here, baby, look. Oh, no, it's not on this chair. I have to go get it. Oh, I'm sorry. I have to go get it. You guys can't see this yet. Hang on. Let's be careful with the phone, right? Whoops. Let's go that way. Can you see? Oh, let's turn it back around. Come on up, Karma. Coming up? Come on, buddy. Karma's coming to visit. I don't know. Can I get you want to come up? You want to see mom? We're not now. Karma's a working cat. He's not a sit around. Can we? Nope, I can't quite do it. Okay. Yeah, can't quite do it. I was trying to make it so you guys could see him because my working cats are part. You saw his tail. Anyway, anyway. So yeah, and Skipper Doodle's big screened laptop, he hardly used it. I mean, he had some stuff stored on it, but nothing that I think uh, is vitally important. I think he had paper copies of everything. So I was trying to see if I could get stuff off so I could send it to Cynthia if she wants to go through those files. But um, are they still coming to see me? Mary, I think that question is about my son and the daughter-in-law. We're we're thinking about adjusting the whole visit process because there's some stuff I can't get done here. One, because I can't afford it. Two, because I had the whole county thing involved and I've had to have that civil engineer come out. And so, what I'm thinking is going to happen now, Cynthia and Jared were Skipperdoodle's sister and nephew, and they came yesterday, and they're on their way back to Texas where they live. So they're going to be family, and they're out here watching today while they're driving. Um, but as far as my son and daughter-in-law and the baby, um, it's looking like this isn't written in stone yet, okay? But it's looking like I might try to go for something like maybe a month in maybe maybe late November until sometime in December or something. But I'm trying to find somebody to, namely, there's Karma. Um, and so I've asked a couple of overlander buddies about coming here and staying while I'm gone so they could care for the cats. And Mary, I will check with you. Yes. Um, the the so my daughter-in-law's idea was that I come and spend a whole 3 months. But the idea of being in a condo and around people and the smells that will affect me and the sounds that will affect me that I'm not used to, I don't know how long I can do that. And so I thought about 2 weeks, but somewhere in there's some happy medium. And I don't have my son's thoughts on how long he'd like me there. So there's a lot to kind of figure out still. So um, but I also need someone to help care for the cats because they're doing such a fantabulous job of keeping the problem down that I need to keep the cats here. I don't want to lose them. They're my babies, right, Karma? Chaos is doing well. Chaos is still smaller. He gained weight. He's doing better. His eyes sometimes weep and look a little messy, but not bad. And he's doing really well. And they were kind of pissed with me yesterday because I didn't feed him much food yesterday. But off and on, I got to watch, to keep them killing the rodents. You can't feed them too much food. And I continue to make sure that there's diatomaceous earth in their food, whether it's wet food or dry food. But I think the dry food was making chaos worse. So, so the inspection from the civil engineer, he, in a phone call, added something he wants me to do. And he said that he so enjoyed his visit out here and how beautiful it was and how peaceful and how he felt comfortable. So he said, with all the things that I have going on and my vehicles and everything else, he said um, that as far as he's concerned, let's put that one item that needs to be done. There's two other items that need doing but aren't vital. And this one thing he called me with, he was working on the paperwork. Okay, I gotta show you this. This is normal. Here you go. Whoops. I there you go. Wendy and Karma. This is oh wow. Now I got the tripod stuck. Okay. I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to screw up our signal. But there you go. You can watch that. So, um, yeah. So the civil engineer said, let's put this on the back burner. And he said, even possibly for spring, that you get that one vital thing done. And he said, I trust you enough that you could send me pictures or I can come back out and just check it again. And he said, but I really want you to do this one more thing. He said, but it sounds like you really do need a break. And it sounds like you really do. And I know that you've had the vehicle issues going on. So it's kind of on hold, that other thing. Um, and okay, so I love letting you guys see the interaction of the cats and Wendy, because to me it's so cute that they hug on each other and then they tease each other to run and play. It's to me it's cute. Anyway, so oh yeah, Beth, I see your comment about 3 months in a condo environment. Um, I can't even imagine. So I was thinking 2 weeks. And the first thing that came to me when they said, why don't you come visit and let's adjust the annual plans for the visits this year? Um, then it was uh, the idea of taking a train because they're in Little Rock. And so, it's I-40 basically. But it's what? I don't know, 12 hours away, or I don't know exactly, but it's quite a ways away. 1,000 miles away, something like that. And so uh, that trip, I wouldn't mind going on the train. And of course, I'll be able to, I'll take Wendy. She's small enough, I can take her. Need to make sure I have an appropriate carrier for her. The current carrier I have for her, she's a little big for, but not horribly. The part that I'm not sure that for travel is appropriate is the uh hang on, is the fact that it's an open purse style carrier and it has like a little leash inside of it, but I'm not sure. If we met up with another service dog or another dog, and the person's dog was like a German Shepherd or a pit bull and just was mean, she could get hurt in that kind of carrier. So, not 100% sure. Catherine offered if I really needed to borrow um, her dog's Coco's carrier, she would let me borrow it if I needed to. So that's a possibility, but I won't know for a minute. You guys can see them, okay? Right? Yeah, there you go. So this is common Wendy and Karma interactions. Sometimes chaos will be there too, but I think chaos is hanging in the warmth of the bed today. It's a little chillier out today than it has been this week. Um, and Chaos is the same size as Wendy right now. Chaos is a big cat, not as big as Smokey from the shop. But I'm just so grateful that I could be useful to someone else this past week. And there's something about how that changed me as a person again and helped me to remember that being useful is much more important to me than sometimes I remember. And so having a purpose, having something to do that was helpful to somebody else, big deal. And and then that my tracker is finally in the shop and is getting worked on. Big deal again. So I'm super grateful for my life. I was reminded in a podcast I was listening to earlier. I think it was this morning. I got up kind of early this morning. But I was listening to a podcast and I don't remember the guy's name, but he was saying, "Hey, do you remember? Don't forget that like 90% of the humans on the planet have about $2.50 per day to their names." And I was like, wow, on my low income, I have $9. I am so freaking blessed. And I mean, I'm blessed. I'm aware I'm blessed in many ways. I mean, how many people my age on my income can have both a car and a home? It's a big deal. And so I'm grateful and thankful every single day. I am grateful I wake up. And yes, I have days when I'm like chomping at the bit with, but what? I'm grateful, but what the heck have you got me doing because I can't see where we're going? Yeah. And I did that a couple weeks ago, little bit. And and then uh and then stuff started changing for me like really quickly. I can't help but show you guys their interaction today. I hope you like that. Yeah. So there you go. They're gonna they're gonna get rough. Now when Wendy does that, did you see her doing that? Like chewing on his neck or whatever? That is puppy play. Okay? But Chaos can't handle that. Chaos will start coughing and acting weird, and so I have to calm her down sometimes. But the two of them, they got this. Um, so that's what's going on with this stuff today. What are you two doing? Huh? What are you two doing? And they will hunt together and catch rats together. They're so funny sometimes. I I can't keep okay, I can't go that far without the last time I went where they went, I lost you guys the signal started buffering, so I'm not gonna do that for you. But um yeah, that's very possible, Donna Kay, about some retrograde of some kind. Because it was like, one day I just started crying. Okay, God, we've been at this for months, years, whatever. Yeah, maybe I was too proud at one time. Maybe I thought I knew something better than other people did at one time. But, I kind of adjusted. And yeah, I've been humbled and I've been on this patience kick for a long time or lessons for a long time. What? What is going on? And what am I so close to the end that I really can't see it? And then I think it was the next day when Stan sent me a picture and I thought he made a mistake and sent the wrong person a picture. And so I called to check and he's like, "No, your engines are on the table." And I went, "No, seriously, yes." So yes, my stuff's getting worked on. Yeah. Iris, not only the whoa, don't do that. Not only the fleas and ticks, because diatomaceous earth for the fleas and ticks, you can put it on the outside of them, but only use the food grade. Okay, but you put the food grade in their food, and don't tell many people, but I put it in my own food, but not all the time. Um, it will get rid of the parasites inside them. And my cats eat rats and rabbits and whatever else. And so This is to make sure that they stay dewormed. And it's not a chemical, and it's so much more natural and normal, and they don't mind eating it at all. And I even have treated myself with it, but that's because I get food grade. And a lot of people with farms use food grade DE, diatomaceous earth, and they just put it in the big barrels of grain that they're feeding their other animals. I'm not sure if it's for horses and things like that. Somebody will correct me if I'm wrong, but but I believe, like, you buy it at feed stores because farms use it for their farm animals to make sure that they stay parasite free and stuff. So yeah. And I thought it was weird that the day that I put diatomaceous earth around the cabin, just, outside the foundation, and Wendy was licking it, and I was like, why is she? That's kind of weird. But then I found out that she probably needed it. So I learned a few things, and I was like, okay. And when Chaos got sick, I think that's what helped to get him better, was a combination of that and getting him off the dry food, because I was giving the cats dry food as their supplement. Now I'm giving them canned food to go along with what they catch. So, of course, they love the canned food. The price is different and all of that, but I think it really helped to get Chaos off dry food. Kibble's not good for any of us. That's the problem. Things like, no offense to anybody, but I'm about to make a comment. If you don't like it, close your ears and know that I prefaced this with I'm not, you do you. And whatever you want to eat's your stuff. But basically, when they're encouraging people to only eat ramen noodles, not that they're necessarily bad, but to only eat ramen noodles and Doritos, that's kind of like putting us on kibble. And if it's not good for us, how can it be good for the animals? Well, I mean, back when I was growing up, there wasn't dog food at the grocery store. You bought food for the family, and the leftovers is what the dog got. And the cats, if you had some milk and it was starting to go sour, you gave it to the cats. So I'm just saying. Yeah. So, yeah. I think it's a way to kind of keep us all healthier. But my Chaos kitty is the smaller, the weaker, but he was probably the runt, and he's still alive. And he comes every morning. He's right here wanting. And sometimes, now he's not sitting with me right now, but sometimes he's over here. He's the one that wants to sit in my lap when I'm outside. So, so let's see. I don't know what else to talk about right now. Who's got questions? Somebody give me a question. There's Beth. Do you remember kennel ration when they took Lassie's recipe off the shelves because old folks were eating it as stew? Yes, I do. And how many of you are aware that many carnivores hunt for human grade dog jerky treats? I've thought about it myself, okay? Because it's expensive to buy food. So, yeah, I do remember that. Yep. So, I don't like, now, Wendy has 2 dog treats that she really loves. Well, 3 now, because Jared brought Wendy is it Blue Mountain? Blue something. Dog treats. And she likes them. But Wendy really likes duck jerky treats. I don't like that they have, is it glycerin in them? but at the same time, she likes those. And she likes the chicken wrapped sweet potatoes. And I should be making my own. I get it. I know this, but I'm not. Um, my health, my food things, it's getting so much easier. The things that I've been testing lately, I'm not allergic to. So it's getting easier. I'm healing more and more. I know that this autoimmune disease is in remission. Okay. And I'm careful reintroducing things, but uh, I try really hard to buy things that are more imported than things from the United States. If I didn't have the responsibility and care for this land, I would probably do more traveling and more time outside the United States because the food in other countries does not make me sick the way the food in the United States does. So, I did. Wow, Donna Kay, I didn't know that. Wow. And that's what I'm talking about, Beth. And I've thought about buying some for myself as well. Right yet, I haven't done it yet, but thought about it. Um, because there's too many ingredients in any human jerky, for real. Um, but yeah, Miss Wendy loves the duck jerky and the sweet potatoes wrapped in chicken. And I saw the other day where there's some companies making freeze dried, you, you know, some of those people who got their freeze dryers early and decided to start companies. They're freeze drying quail egg yolks for dog treats. I was like, that's a really good idea. They're not very expensive. And so I might at some point try some of those for Wendy, but not yet. But for something like $10, why not? Right? I mean, it's $9 for the duck jerky. So, what's this, Beth? When I got stuck in a New York homeless shelter in 2016, I found several beef and chicken stew dog food containers along with children's vitamins. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep. The things, the things that we were fed uh, or we dealt with in New York City homeless situations. I did a stint in New York City homeless system in order to get the apartment that I had in Times Square, which was, something on a bucket list. I always wanted to live in New York. I did. Okay, that's over. Done. Every once in a while, my shoulder hurts the last couple of days. I don't know what I did to it. Whatever. Mm. Mm-hmm. Still trying to figure out. I need to move that kitchen sink that I put in the shower house over the summer, which was extremely helpful, but I need to move it. And so I think I'm going to put it in this outdoor shade area that's the curved, I don't know what to call it, but is the cattle panels, and it's a curved area on the west side of the cabin. I think I'm going to move the sink over there, because the the bottom side of that curve where it goes down to the ground. On the outside, I think I'm going to put a garden bed, and I might put another garden bed on the inside. And that way, one side would be shaded and the other side would be full sun. And the sink could drain right into those and water those plants too. That's a thought. And yes, I would put a grease trap in because it is where I'm washing dishes. And I know how to do a grease trap. That's not. But I'm really thinking about that. Ew. Freeze dried rodents, gross. Hey, but for these cats, no, I wouldn't do it either. I'm hearing gunshots in the distance, but people have moved. That could be 2 miles away, what I'm hearing. But I'm hearing the pop pop. They might be just doing target practice. If they are, they don't have the money for a lot of bullets because it's pop, pop, then you wait, and then you hear it again. Pop, pop. How much money you could earn? Yeah, if you do the rodents. Oh yeah, but gross. Nasty, gross, whatever. Um, but my kitties is so healthy. I have one by my feet again. Um, Karma. I don't. Chaos has been laying in the sun again today, so I'll need to. I'm gonna need to double check the pond and make sure no rodents drowned, and get him out of the water if they have, and I keep that as clean as I can. Um, yeah, I have work to do around here. It's off grid, you know. I have to right now. I have to dump potty buckets because I don't have the barrels done yet. But I'm getting closer. I got to move the sink so that I can get those barrels put back in the shower house where they was put back in. Put in. They never were in there yet. But I got to do that. Just got to. So, goose and pheasant season where you are. Yes, Beth. Yeah, it's not really a hunting season thing right now. A few weeks ago, we had a lot of elk hunters. And I have to watch that because I'm so close to state trust land. And technically, they can hunt on state trust land. But yeah, got to get some firewood up here on this porch. But I need a rack with a cover on it because the snow and rain and everything comes in on this porch. And I don't really want to close it off. I haven't figured out a way that I'm willing to close it off, to keep the weather off. And so having the wood open doesn't make any sense because then I just have wet wood. So so I think spending the I think the one I found that I like the best is 4 foot and it's adjustable so you can make it narrower if you want it to. But it's like 4 feet long and it's off the ground about 4 inches, I think. Might be 3 inches or 4 inches off the ground. And it's a metal rack and it comes with a zippered cover. And I think it was $58. And so even if I have to buy it myself next month, I think that that would be a good use of $58 to help have the firewood closer to the house and the wood stoves, 5 or 6 steps away. But to keep it dry, I don't have to keep so much messy wood in the house. I can keep just a handful of sticks in the house or whatever. Um, and because I just don't have the space for that. And um, because the firewood is a distance, not a far distance, but a distance. And so that way I could just keep the front porch wood stocked. The cats will keep the rats out of that. And then there's still room here for a couple of chairs. Bummer, not the lawn chair anymore. I'm going to think about that for a while before I decide what I'm going to do about it. I wish they wouldn't make so much plastic stuff. Um, so, what else do you need me to talk about? I don't know what else to talk about right now. That's you got the big news that the tracker's getting worked on. Yay! Yeah. Well, and okay, so this friend that came by that helped me move the wood cook stove to the inside. By the way, I like that. That was kind of a good idea because I actually opened the oven and stuck egg cartons inside the oven. And I thought, that's a good place to keep them for a while. Um, so um, that person, when they went out back on the patio, they were like, why don't you do the clear plastic panels as the back wall and put yourself a garden bed as the back wall of that? That's actually what I was thinking about. And so I like that somebody else is liking the idea. So I'll probably do that. And that would probably have the kinds of like herbs and spices and medicine plant things, like a kitchen garden stuff, that would have, well, it won't have lettuce if I'm allergic to it, right? But it could have things like sage and basil and thyme and chives and, stuff like that. And it could be year round growing. That would be great. So I'm probably going to do that. I like that idea a lot to have the garden bed at that end. And of course, that roof doesn't have much of a slant. It's only 5 inches uh, downgrade. So, but water will drip off the end eventually into either a gutter and be able to feed that garden bed easily. So I don't even have to worry about watering it too much, which would be great. So those are all things I'm kind of looking at in the future. Wendy, don't dig there. Thank you. Don't dig there. No. You dig holes out there, not close to the foundation. Mm-hmm. I know. You want to come up? Do my baby, but don't do that, please. Don't do that, please. She's mama baby. I need to put bird food out, don't I? I haven't put bird suet out in a while, and I have two. So, so I don't know. I kind of like the idea of doing the trip to visit my son and family, um, for a few weeks, maybe a month. But going on the train, I kind of like that idea to for a switch. That would be kind of nice, I think. But I'll talk to you, Mary, about that. And I don't know what else to talk about, guys. Do you got any more? Yes, I still have my Zier pot. It's here on the front porch. Zier pot. My evaporative refrigeration cooler thing. I never did get the lid the way I wanted it this year. I'll get it eventually, and it'll be good next summer because you can keep milk and stuff like that. So it'll all be good, or eggs, or whatever. A few vegetables, whatever. But that's what's going on. I don't know what else to talk about. I've got some laundry to do, especially the old towel that was starting to have loose threads that I used to clean out the oven on the wood cook stove is pretty black in spots. So that one I got to scrub. And I think fairly soon, the next couple of weeks, I think I'll take all the sleeping bags and blanket kind of things to the laundromat with the big washing machines and give that a good wash that way. with some baking soda and not vinegar because I don't do good with vinegar yet. I think that will change over time too. Um, oh, and Cynthia brought me the nicest gift basket, which she did not have to do, but I appreciate it so freaking much. And it had, what was the girl that was on the Alone show that had MS? And it even had the medicine plant book from her in the back of it, and a packet of medicinal plant seeds, which I'll deal with, probably next year. And it had some jerky, doggy treats for Wendy. Oh, magnesium lotion, some tallow soap bars. I forget what else, but really just lovely, lovely little basket. And the basket's pretty, so keeping the basket, that's a nice basket. I like baskets a lot, so that's nice. Um, so incredibly wonderful to finally know that the tracker is really going to get worked on. And uh, Stan and I stood at the table and went over some parts together. He showed me some things. He was a little disappointed that the crankshaft had not been protected as much as he thought it should have been. And he's going to have to carefully clean the crankshaft off. I think I'm saying the right thing, because it got some rust on it. And he has to be really careful to not change the size of, when he's trying to get it's light rust, but still he's got to be careful that he's not changing the diameters of things, important parts, when he cleans that. But he was very, very happy with how Mike from Boss Customs had packaged and carefully placed things in my car in a way that it was easy for Stan to understand which parts came from my old engine, which ones came from the engine I bought and paid like way freaking too much money for. Stan has said that he can see I was taken advantage of about 4 times in this process, because he thinks he found what happened to the engine to cause the problem in the beginning, and it was a hose, and there were holes poked in it on purpose. And he says he thinks the engine was sabotaged. Now, whether it was sabotaged for me or the previous owners, who knows, right? Because we don't know when it was done. But I agree with him with what he showed me. It was a purposefully done holes in that hose. And so we don't know exactly. Um, and then, like, the engine I bought that cost me $1,900, and no, Homes on Wheels Alliance did not help me. No, Bob Wells did not help me. No, Bob Wells did not help me with the minivan engine when it died, and he had said he would, and he didn't. And so, no, they didn't help me with any of this. This was a few friends who donated, some of you guys that donated. Some of you donated like $100 here and $100 there. A couple of people sent me grocery money during that time when the engine first went down. And so when I first found an engine, it was the right price. It was $600. And I ordered that one. And then we realized it was a scam. And I was so blessed that I paid for it with PayPal. They gave me my money back. But then I had to reorder and order another engine. Well, we couldn't find one for $600. All we could find was $1,900 I paid for an engine. And when it showed up, it was a bad engine. It had a bad head gasket, but thank you God, the head is good. The valve valves go in a hole. Jeremy, laugh at me, right? Or help me out. Anyways, the valves, where they go in, there's a little bit of wear and some pitting, and so it's going to have to be remachined. So Stan and I were standing at the table. What day was that? Thursday? Thursday, maybe? Go into cylinders. Okay. So Thursday, maybe, that I was there. Stan and I stood at the table and he showed me and I talked to him about stuff I knew to happen. And he goes, Lesa, this engine should have cost you $200, $300. He goes, never should have cost you $1,900. And so, but anyways, so Stan and I, looked it over and I saw what he's talking about with the cylinders, and it's the cylinder heads that need remachining and something else. I don't know, but they're going to look that all over. And Stan has a machine shop not far away that he'll be able to. So yes, it's finally going to get worked on, worked out. Yep. Wendy, I was trying to hold you up where everybody could see you. They can't see you the way I got the phone. They can't see you because, oh, whew, that hurt. Don't, my body doesn't go that way. Don't do that. It wasn't you, Wendy. It was Mama. So, yeah. So it was really good to see the beginning of progress again, to start to see those things and go, okay, maybe it really can happen. Maybe I can have my vehicle back. Still not 100% that, but most likely I will have to sell the blue car in order to pay for all the work being done to the white one. And yet I don't 100% know that that's true yet, because I don't know what this is going to cost. I got really no idea what it's going to cost. But a trip to visit my son on the same note, even though that will cost some money. If I take the train, I believe it's only $168 round trip. Not bad. And I believe that my son will probably pay for that. Oh, I'm just realizing I didn't finish the full explanation on the trip with the kids visiting and whatnot. I think my son will buy me the ticket to come visit, and then they would postpone their trip and maybe come in the spring instead of in the fall. That would be easier. So, yeah, the white vinegar thing. Yeah, I'm so allergic to vinegar at this stage. Yeah, yeah. Train rides are very relaxing. Yeah. Oh, okay, Iris. Yeah, have a good phone call with your daughter. Uh, yeah, yeah, the sit in cars thing's probably not going to happen anyways, because if it sat here on the property, it would, the rats. Although the cats are doing good. If it sits down, it stands. Something else happens. By the way, the other thing I'm concerned about with a white tracker is especially the windshield. The seal on the windshield is so cracked and frayed. I'm scared. I remember hearing a little bit of wind going through it before and wondering if that's what I was hearing. So that dry rotted seal, needs to be done. And somebody the other day I mentioned that to said, "Oh, just get on YouTube and watch somebody do it. You can do a seal on a windshield." I ain't trying to do a seal on a windshield, not alone. Can't you see me dropping it and being mad? Yeah, no. So, anyways, so Sonia, train travel, I do love it. And I have thought a number of times that if I ever got the chance, I would probably get that. I don't know what they're calling it now, but America the Beautiful something train pass. Amtrak has a pass where you could do sightseeing, and it's something like $500, and you can get on and off the train so many different times, and so you plan a trip to go somewhere. And there's a whole East Coast route and a West Coast route. And it would be kind of cool to do the Pacific Northwest that way, because I'm not sure I want to drive up through there after I had my engine die. It would be cool. Yeah, train trips are really fun. Windshield seals are not dry, Beth. Uh, I don't know what to call it, but you know the white tracker is a 98. And so if that windshield has never been replaced, and it hasn't, it's the original windshield, it's all dry rotted and frayed, whatever's on the outside of it. And that's scary to me that it, and I talked to the glass company. The glass company just said, nope, you can't, we don't do seals. You have to buy a whole new windshield. Well, it's $500. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. So I don't know the answer. I, like I said, I kind of feel like I'm kind of done today. Are we good? Do you guys need do you need some more time today? I don't know what I need to do. Well, I do. I mean, I need to do some laundry. I was thinking about moving that sink today, but that's a thing. You're good. Okay, Beth. I'm good too. So I'm thinking that I go along. I just keep doing a lot of journaling and small putzing jobs today. Like I went and cleaned out another storage box, and I'll start the storage box that all the skipperdoodle stuff had been stored in here was actually my toolbox crate thing. And so I'll be putting those tools back into that. And so I'm kind of, doing one little thing here and another little thing there. No big, like, no big, huge jobs. But, and boy, I hate having stuff just sitting on the floor in the cabin. It's small enough space. I always want stuff off the floor a little bit. Somehow it makes it feel bigger and it's easier to clean. So I don't know. I don't know. But I just keep messing with things and uh, cleaning stuff up, putzing at little stuff. I took the I took the trim off. One side of the car had some trim on it, the blue car, and the other side didn't have hardly any trim on it. And the side that had trim on it had drywall screws through the plastic trim. I took it off. It looks so much better. I was like, just quit having all this crappy drywall screwed stuff. I mean, you know what I mean. I'm not trying to be mean about it. I'm just saying. So took that off. Looks so much better. And I don't know, about a month ago, I was at the shop and Sam wasn't too busy. He helped me change the whole license plate cover thing that has the light in it and everything on the back of the blue tracker. The one I had duct tape all over it. And I couldn't figure out how to get it off. And so Sam helped me do that one day. So that looks way better on the back end of the car. And yeah, I've had a couple of quick conversations with my Zooks of Arizona buddies. You know, of course, letting them know that the car's finally getting worked on. I've talked to my friend Glenn Orozook, who he also had an engine blow, but he had done the 2.0 engine swap in a Samurai, and his engine blew. Like, it blew pistons through the sidewall of his engine. And like, you could see daylight through his. So he was kind of stranded up in Durango, Colorado. And he's finally been able to get trailered back to Prescott Valley. He's over at Myron's Zooks of Arizona. And so we talk off and on too. So we have that. So. Yeah, Putzin is a way of life, right? Okay, well, I'm going to go. Y'all have a wonderful week. Pray for each other. Pray for Jeremy and the healing of his hand. Because when the dog bit, it bit a piece of the bone off of his thumb. And so that part of the healing could take longer. And I understand he's doing pretty well, though. So, yeah, you guys have a wonderful week. Pray for each other. Pray for Catherine and Homer. They're still wanting to, you know, let's use different, better, creative, manifesting terms. Um, Catherine and Homer would like to be relieved of the drama of where they've had to be since their engine in their Class A blew. And so they are reconnected with their Mormon church, but they're still awaiting an opportunity to be able to live in a different situation than they're currently in. So pray about that as well. I don't pray for Cynthia and Jared's trip home, that they arrive safely. I expect they will. And for the blessings of them being able to share some closure on Skipper Doodle's passing recently, and that they've connected with us now as part of their family, and that all goes well, and that we can stay connected somehow. What else? I can't think of anything particular, big and special. Continue to pray for Chaos Kitty, that he gets stronger and grows a little more. I'd like to see him be just a little more muscular than he is. But and that if you're in the mood to pray for me a little bit, that I find an appropriate house sitting situation so I can take a little break and go visit my son. And and then of course for Stan's health and being able to work on the tracker. And let's figure out a way to get that man a decent office chair, because that situation is okay. So y'all have a great week. Help people when you can. Just work on the whole idea of love being the energy that you live with. And have a great week. We'll be back here next week. Say, I can't talk. Same bad time, same bad channel. See you next week, guys. Ciao.